my channel, Tri5 Guy, and today I've got the VR Commodore 3.8 litre V6, the Buick engine. It's the pre-Ecotec. 95 was the first of the Ecotec V6, so this is the last of them. My car was built in October 94, and I believe they had some in the new year as well in 95, but this is a 10th month of 94, and this is the Pontiac Bonneville engine that was in a 94 as well, in a Pontiac Bonneville. Front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, the same motors, both L27 engines. This one's got the intake facing forward, obviously, for for rear wheel drive, and this got it well in the position of the V6 in a Commodore. This has got the intake facing the rear, but it's actually to the side, being a longitude and transverse engine. So guys, I'm going to go through these. Never done it before. I don't know if there's a lot of differences. I see a few differences, mainly the oil pan, sump, and the exhaust manifolds, and obviously the intake and a few other bits and pieces. I'm just going to go through it all and start taking off parts off this engine and replacing it with the Commodore stuff. So guys, don't forget, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell your mother, tell your granny. Oh guys, so there's going to be a few physical differences like I mentioned earlier. The first one here is the oil pump, right? It's got the on the Pontiac engine, it just goes straight down and does a bit of a dog leg there. As you can see, if you watched my other videos of me dropping the engine, you'll see that that kind of like saved the crankshaft the way it was. I reckon if it was like this one here, it would have probably hit the crankshaft, so thank God for that. Basically, the water pumps look identical. So does a pulley. It appears that this pulley here looks a little bit different, but I did measure it and there wasn't, I mean, I couldn't tell a difference, but the water pumps look identical. The alternator positions are going to be different, right? Obviously. Oh no, the alternator positions are the same. So they're in the same spot, but the bracketry, I think, might be different. But like, you know, obviously you can see that this section here, this casting looks a little bit different. And, you know, so does this. So this is the dual purpose bracket, I guess, that holds on the coil packs and the alternator, and this looks a little bit different too, the way this is shaped. And here it is here again. It's got this little outrigger here. It's just, it looks different. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't gone that far yet. Obviously the intakes are going to be different. This uses the early LN3 intake off like a VN or something like that. This uses the there's an aluminium intake for the base, but the top is a plastic one. This one's cracked. Exhaust is obviously different because it's front wheel drive. This has got this sort of setup here. You know, throttle bodies at the back of these, obviously. This exhaust here on this side is, I like this part of the exhaust. It looks like a tubular, I guess. This is the EGR valve. I don't think the VR had them. I really don't think they had them. So the water, the top radiator hose comes out like what would be the back on this thing here. There it is there. It's at the front, so there's a difference right there. I think power steering is going to be different as well, obviously. The air conditioning bracket's going to be different as well, as you can see on both motors. I think the crank angle sensors in the same spot over here. The cam sensor here, that was only 93, 94 or 94 only. I don't know, but I think the VR only had them. Let's safely say that. And there it is there on my VR engine. So what I'm going to start doing, guys, is I'm going to start ripping off the intakes. I'm going to take that intake off first, and I'm going to take my intake off, and then I'll set them down on the bench. Just a quick note, I've got my 4L60. It's a pre-PWM transmission. That means there's no pulse width modulator in it. So I'm rebuilding it. I've got all the rebuild stuff over here. Got a new converter for it. That's a Firebird one. I'll do a comparison later, but identical to the Commodore one. It cost me $75 brand new from Dynamic torque converters. I think it was the last one they had in stock at the moment, but I got mine over there. But same converter, and I've got an L27 kit. I've got all sorts of goodies in here. There's a box down there with the whole rear section of the transmission if I needed it. I checked out mine, and my transmission stuff is actually quite good. I lost third, fourth, so I'm thinking I've just lost the third, fourth clutches. I haven't pulled it down far enough yet, but there's all that stuff. Going to rebuild it myself. You know, if you're taking time, there's not really much in all 4R60E. Right, guys, so basically I'm going to start removing all the stuff off the Bonneville motor here, starting with this top cover here. It just unclips like that. I'm just going to put it in. I've got a box inside. Start stripping off all the stuff that holds the intake down. This has been cracked, this intake. So just going to take anything that's in our way off and just put them in a box. All sorts of garbage connecting this. Got a fuel rail here, so I'll get that off. All right, guys, so I removed all the clips off the connectors that went to various places, fuel injectors, to the throttle body, so forth. A couple other sensors around, and then I undid all the 10mm bolts that held this fuel rail in, so that's now detached. Don't know how similar it is to the Commodore one. I know it doesn't have the same style. Maybe this looks like the earlier setup. I don't know, but it's definitely different than the VR engine one, which looks like that. Other injectors different. They look the same. They look, you know, pretty close to the same. They're a different shape, but they look like they would work in there. But I'll get them out, and when I get to this stage, I'll compare them, is what I'm getting at. But so I've undone that. That can come off now. That's all off, that fuel rail. Put it in our little box over here, in there. And now I'm going to undo the 10mm bolts that hold the intake on here. That should come out pretty easy. Take that off, and then work on removing the alloy intake off the engine itself. Like I said, it was broken. You probably saw me trying to detach it from the EGR tube. That was cracked. It's cracked around here anyway. It's pretty cracked up. So get rid of it. I'm not going to play games with it. Okay, now this is off. Now I won't be using any of this at all. I don't think. I think the throttle body is actually smaller than the Holden one. So I won't be using that. Get rid of it. Don't need it. So next thing is I'm going to undo the intake. Get rid of all these tools that we don't need at the moment. I'm going to undo the intake again. 10mm. One. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 there. 7. About 10, I guess. I got these big bolts that go through here too. There's, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but there's one there, which the Holden I already saw doesn't have. There's nothing there, and one here. So, and they're like 15mm. So I'm going to undo all them and all this bracket here while I'm at it, so I can actually lift up this this intake here. Get it out of here. I'll be back. All right, guys. Up to the stage where I can take the bottom intake off. Had to undo, I think about, how many was there? One, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bolts around about. Just 10mm headed bolts here. So I'll take the intake off. Had to undo this hose off the water pump, and a bolt down here. I don't know if you can see, probably out of view, for another one for I guess the heater core. So I'm going to try to angle this out of here. Or do I have to take that pulley off as well? I was hoping that I can do that in a second. Yeah, I might have to actually. Might have to take the idler pulley off that also holds the power steering unit on to get it out of there. So let me go ahead and get that off. Okay, with that out of the way, I can now easily remove the intake here. Okay, it's off. Just dropped something. Doesn't look too bad in there actually. Dropping stuff out. Actually, it looks quite clean. I'll show you. Yeah, looks quite clean. Doesn't look like any signs of anything, you know, out of place. Looks clean to me, anyway. Intakes look like a little bit. They were weeping a bit. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. They seem pretty good to me. So at this point, I'm going to move on. Going to probably take off the oil pump, all these accessories like this front, this engine mount bracket here for the, you know, it was for the front wheel drive. Now, guys, maybe someone out there can, how do these come off? Because the Ute one's just dead straight. So how does this come out of that water pump? Is there a special way of getting this out? I want a reef on it. I don't know. So I've never played with one of these before. So if anyone knows, I'd appreciate a comment on that. Yeah. What are your suggestions? Should I just replace the water pump? The Ute one looks like it was replaced, but you know, who knows what it's like now. But it definitely has been replaced. It's got one of those, is it GMG or is it GME? So I think it says GME. It's been replaced aftermarket. So anyway, I'm gonna take off this bracket here next. Take off the broken bit of hose there, or cut hose. The air conditioning bracket, I'm gonna pull that off, and the oil pump, I'm gonna pull that off as well. Get it stripped down, and then work on the exhaust manifolds and clean up what I can clean up. I don't have a pressure washer. I'm at the new house. There's no water here. So I'm only going to be able to use engine degreaser and cleaner and put something on the concrete so I don't make a mess and get it cleaned. Whatever I didn't get with the pressure washer originally. So let's get some of this off. Okay guys, so all the brackets are off the engine completely now. Air conditioning brackets off, all the bracketry that was up here that was holds the engine into place there for the front wheel drive engine mount. Now I noticed that this has got a stud in it, and I did notice on the Utes motor, on the Aussie version of the L27, they've got a block off there, like a, I don't know, a little grub screw. Had a bit of a camera malfunction there, guys. So, like I was saying, all the brackets are all off. Air conditioning bracket, alternator bracket, the belt tensioner bracket's off. I just about got everything off except for the exhaust. The exhaust is still on there, so I'm going to undo that now. And then, what I'll do as soon as I find a 14mm, have a look at this. Awesome. I've started, you know, taking the oil out of this thing, and dark coffee looking oil out of the engine, so that's awesome. But like I said, guys, I'm using the Pontiac L27, so I just need the sump off it, engine mounts, all the bracketry that's Commodore related, any sort of bits and pieces that are, you know, are for, you know, for it to run in the Commodore, I should say, you know what I'm saying? So let me take the exhaust off this, and then I'm gonna flip her over, do a bit of a flip job, and I want to take the pickup off and have it all ready. All right, guys, motor's flipped upside down, exhaust is off. It was pretty painless. Got a few things. I don't know if you can see this on this side here, but on this side there's some sort of a, I don't know, a sensor of some sort. I noticed on the Ute motor there isn't. It's also got a dipstick on here, so I need to get a plug for that. So I'm going to take this off right now. The wires, because the Ute has a front mounted oil pickup, oil dipstick tube, and this isn't the same, so okay, so that's off. Yep, all right. Got a pile of parts here now, let me tell you. Two 8mm bolts here, 8mm headed bolts, and the pickup comes off like that. Gasket's toast, but we've got a new one to, you know, make sure we get all the, make sure there's no gasket that falls in there. Basically, guys, I'm going to clean up this little surface, and I'm putting that Ute pan straight back on this, and then I'll clean around it after, because I don't want any of this dirt getting in there. Before, I don't have a flashlight here, I don't have a light here, so I'm going to show you what the balls are like. But to me, I think I can see some cross hash marks in there still. You know, how do you know if it's any good? I don't. I'm not going to start taking bearing caps off. Like I said, if it runs decent for the next 6 to 12 months, I'm happy with it. I just want to be able to drive around while I do the LS conversion. So let me cover this up, move to the side, and start on that old that one there with obviously a blown head gasket, or water got in the engine somehow. I don't think so. I think when it blew the transmission up and I was driving it in second gear there for a little while, I reckon she blew a head gasket. Yeah. So anyway, let's get that done. Hi guys, so I cleaned the surface of where the pan's going to go. Obviously it's still over there on the VR motor, but I thought this was pretty, I don't know if you can see it if it comes up, but it says right here 03 February 94, and then to me it says accepted. So I think it says like a 10 or 13, it says accepted, so that's probably the person who accepted it. But yeah, I don't know if it was the day that the block was made or the engine was built, but I just thought that was neat. 13, is that a 13? 03 or 13th of February 1994. I just thought that was cool. I'm going to cover this up now. I'm going to start pulling this apart. Okay, just a quick video just so I can notice things on how they went. Like brackets, like how this is here. Intake. Try to get this intake off in one piece, like this bracket here, right? Any lift brackets. There it is there, lift bracket. Just the way things go. The routing of the alternator and the bracketry and so forth. So I think I might take off the front of the engine first. Camera. All right, guys, I think what I'm gonna do is take off all the front accessories off this thing first, and then take note on how the routing of the harness goes, because I think that's going to be a big thing. I don't want to pretend that I know what's going on before I actually get into it. So first thing I think I'm going to do is take the belt off, and then you know, coil pack, alternator, power steering, pump, and definitely take the air conditioning off. I might even remove the water pump in case I do use it on the Pontiac replacement motor. All right, let me go ahead and do that, and we'll just go from there. Can you guys see that? I think this is what happened to the engine. Well, I don't think, but yeah. Wow, look at that. It's broken pretty good. What would have caused that? I didn't notice that bolt being, well, I have never taken off the pan, but you can see that that's cracked all the way up there. All the way up there. Yeah, that's a hell of a crack. Look at that. Was this bolt done up too tight at one point and it cracked it? I mean, that takes a bit to crack that. What else could crack that block like that? Something let go inside and hit it. I'm looking forward to opening it and having a look in there, but it's broken right where that bolt threads into the block. Right behind the engine mount. I didn't see it because the engine mount was in the way. But yeah, that's yeah, there's no coming back for this block. Good for parts though, the heads, I guess. Oh, that's it, right? The heads. Yeah, oh well. Lucky we got a new motor. Okay, finally got most of the stuff that's connected to the intake. I'm trying to leave as much as I can on and put it back as a complete unit. Well, not complete. I took off the fuel injection rails, but like stuff like all this on there, I'll be able to sit it on there. You know, it's not going to be a bother just to, you know, sit it back on there all in one piece, you know. But I'm going to lift that off now, and yeah, I'll lift it off, and I'm going to take off the water pump, the oil filter, and the oil pump stuff there. I'm going to take off the exhaust. The starter motor's just sitting here. Just take that off. It's got some wire here. And then, yeah, the other side exhaust, the other side engine mount, flip it upside down, and take off the oil pan. Got rid of the starter motor, the wiring, the other engine mount. Gonna get rid of this now as one unit. I just wrapped up everything in there. I'll be able to put this on and, you know, and put it back on with the new gaskets like that. Pretty easy, not heavy. This one here is a lot dirtier. It's got mold growing in it than the other motor. A lot dirtier, I should say. That other one's way cleaner. Gonna take off the water pump next, get that off there, exhaust, and then I'll flip it up. So I need to get the oil pump filter housing off as well. And whatever this thing is over here on this side of the block, I don't know what it is, I don't know what it does, I have no clue. Alright guys, I turned the motor upside down after taking off the exhaust manifolds and the oil pump adapter, oil filter adapter off this side here. I still don't know how to take this off, if that's in focus. Is that in focus? That I don't know if that comes off, if it's a part of it. I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures of just this alone. I don't want to attempt to pull it out because, like I said, on the Pontiac one, it's got this right angle, and if it has to be like that, well, I don't really care, but as long as it doesn't interfere or anything. But I'd rather put the Ute one back on. So I'm ready to take the pan off. As you know, there was a hole on this side of the block. I'm just going to get a screwdriver and lever up that pan. Hopefully the pan's okay. I'm pretty sure it should be. Have I got all the bolts? No, I got one bolt. I've got one bolt on the inside here, right on this end here. Seems like a bit of a bitch to get to, but let me get that off and I'll be back. It was that very front bolt there. Okay. See if I can. All right. Now, I'm curious if it's a rod that's gone, you know, has come apart and hit the block and broke it. Yeah, I'm hoping that the pan's okay. It looks good. I can't see any damage on the outside, guys. So let's have a look. Okay. Ooh. Oh my God! I can actually see a ring. A ring. Oh my God! There's stuff in there. Oh, I don't know. Something. The bottom of this is the bottom of the pan has got stuff in it. Look at that. I don't even know what that is. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh God. Yeah, something's catastrophic happened. I'll get you in closer in a second, but metal. Oh, okay. So that's a part of a conrod. That's awesome. What do you think about that? Yeah. So she. Oh my God. Here's the other part. All right. I think the pan's okay. It looks okay. It looks straight. Yeah. Lost the conrod, guys. So. Yeah. Let me bring you in here. So here's the absolute carnage of what happened in here. I mean, it made a mess, man. I'm telling you, bits of conrod bolt there. Man, look at that. Unreal. Look at the damage. Come apart. Is that a piece of the? I don't know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. Anyone know what that is? Is that like part of the bore? Can't be. Part of the piston. That's part of the piston. The bottom of a piston. Yep. Yeah, that's the part of the piston. There's all sorts of stuff down there. Pan's all right. Just a little dint there where it's smacked it there. I don't think it's going to affect anything. I'm not concerned about it. There's no other damage on the pan anywhere. Let me get up on the motor here. All right, so let me wipe my hands off here. All right. Absolutely destroyed. Probably destroyed that crank journal there. Bits of piston there. I'm glad it didn't do it up here because it would have really damaged the pan then, wouldn't it? Look at that gasket, man. What kind of gasket's that? It's just, it wasn't even tight. These pan bolts, they were loose. I mean, I'm talking about they were loose. I don't know how it wasn't leaking oil. Freeze plug, it must have blew out here. Down on the ball. Here we go. Can we get any closer lighting on it? Let me have a look. Here we go. Yeah. The bottom of the skirt is gone on the piston. There's another ring hanging out there. If you can see, it's absolutely hanging out. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. Parts engine, cylinder heads, probably still be all right on it. This front cover, I've got to take the flywheel, maybe the dampener. Maybe that's all right still. Other than that, she's a goner. Shame. Anyway, guys, I'll look at that, unreal. Yeah. What a shame. It was a good motor, it ran good. I didn't know how many miles it done. It was on 255,000 when I bought it, and I drove it around for a while, and I drove it here in the States for a little while too. I drove it from Maine to Tennessee, back to Maine, drove it, and halfway back to Kentucky, and that's where, when I blew the 4L60E that I'm sort of halfway building now, and then I kept on driving second gear. I had to get somewhere. I was in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, I'm probably sitting on 65, 70 miles an hour in second gear. Wasn't happy. And you know what? I pulled apart that transmission and I really can't find. I've done a air test on the back drum here. Done all the leak tests. And, yeah, it's holding air. So, I don't know. There's the converter for it. I've got another converter. I'll show you on the next video. But guys, that's it for this video. I think we pulled it down. We pulled 2 engines down today. There's a box of parts right here. Right, that's off that engine there, and there's a smaller box of parts. But anyway, guys, please like, subscribe. I'll be back with the. So what I'm going to do is I'll have everything laid out on the bench that's different, and have a look at part numbers and the differences. I've already found a few subtle differences as far as location of things, which I'll go through on the next video. So guys, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate you watching, guys. Bye.